motion.
I don't have any questions, nobody else? I'll make a motion that we do the change order number 1. We'll take that out and just use the millings.
Okay.
Change order number, deleting South Gaines.
We're deleting the South Gage one, yes.
Okay.
But putting it millings potentially.
Correct.
Yeah, now I don't have the contractor doing the millings.
Right.
No, the
That
we
city.
can do
The
that.
city staff.
We've got it, yeah.
We can do that.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motion by Kirkpatrick, second by Morgan. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kava?
Yep.
Renzo?
Yes,
Okay.
did Sean have something?
She was wanting to vacate the right of way, right? Because she wanted to pave it herself. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys wanted to speak to her about potentially, I mean, just in case she wanted to say, whatever the quote was to the city, I'll do that.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I'm just saying.
Mr. Mayor?
And say,
Yeah.
and say on top of that, just save Jim time and energy. The millings ain't gonna be any different than what she's got there now, so you might as well just scrap it all together if you're not gonna do anything.
And Jim had mentioned if,
Cause I've had millings in my alley and stuff, it's not any different than the gravel, it's just black gravel.
but, I mean, a lot of people, they say, well, the gravel gets in my yard. Well, it does all over with the alleys and different contractors have rooms and stuff, and constantly that's
I've had
part
good
of the deal.
experience
Jim had
with millings in
mentioned
my
if
alley.
your mother wants to clean your own driveway, you can.
You're talking to the guy that does it, so, yeah.
Okay. You got something, Ash,
Well,
before
number
we go to
4, yeah, I just want to update the council that we had a lawyer hired by our insurance company to work on that allegation that we had at the rescue unit. They hired someone to do internal investigation
An outside attorney from that.
from all
Yeah, so we have an attorney that does the claim, but then we have an outside attorney that does an internal investigation.
Yeah, I just wanted to have that update, and that's probably what's leading to this retaliation that I earlier mentioned by council member Calva against me as a city council. That's all I have to say.
Okay, okay, we're gonna move to 5. All Saints Center, renewal of development agreement. So.
Well, okay, so we had the development agreement with the old Center last year, and if you read the development agreement, you see that if we want to renew it on a yearly basis, we have to come to the council and make a motion. They are required to submit to us certain information, and they have done that. It's a new packet.
Which I appreciate because it wasn't done before.
Yes, so they're doing very good, submitting the information you could submit. I like to recommend that we.
I'll make the motion to go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
we could-
That's all Saints Center, okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. Moved by Renzo, second by Kirkpatrick. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Dolan?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kava?
Yep.
Renzo?
Yes,
Okay, 6, what?
Oh, six, yeah,
We gotta do 6.
yeah, it's.
Stuart Best of Luck Barbecue Committee, is anybody here representing them? But, what, you want, need a motion for that?
can we just, I mean, like we do with everybody else, when we do road
Refer it to
road
Jim.
closures, we refer it to Jim.
We can approve it and we refer it to
We refer it
Jim
to
and
Jim
the
and
I
the
was gonna
chief.
say, they're
the chief
asking
of
to
police.
close.
That's normal.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you
And
probably need a
they're
motion
gonna
for
notify
Yes.
businesses.
All businesses,
Yeah.
and as long as they clear it with Jim and Dave,
Okay.
we normally
Yeah.
just refer
Go
to
ahead and
those
have a
two.
motion for it.
We need a motion.
I'll make that
Motion
motion.
by Kirkpatrick,
I'll second it.
second by Renslow. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kava?
Yep.
Renslow?
Yes,
Okay. Number 7, before you come up, Sean, I've got a red letter to read.
oh, I was just gonna ask if we could read that.
No.
Can you come up?
Mayor and City Council, we'd like to extend our appreciation to Sean, EMS Director, for his prompt and great care of our family member received July 29th. Sean was nothing more than positive, professional, and overwhelmed accommodating. We as citizens of Stuart are fortunate to have him as our EMS director. Sean is dedicated to the EMS department, puts in long hours, and is active in the community. Thanks again for your assistance and calm demeanor during the stressful time. This is Brian and Teresa. Brian, Diane, and
I
Teresa.
think you know what they're talking about.
And I want this in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
go
you.
ahead,
Nice
Sean.
work, yeah.
So as far as the medical director, I have not talked to Dr. Jones in person yet. So he was due to start in Guthrie County on August 1st, which kind of sounds like he did, but not at this clinic. So he'll start at I think they told me the 23rd here personally. So I dropped off a letter and my business card to the clinic so that, because he randomly pops in, he's doing training in like the other clinics and departments in the county. So he should have my information this week. If nothing else, towards the end of the month, I'll have a conversation with him specifically. When I talk to the ladies at the clinic, they don't speak for him. So obviously I'm not saying anything on his behalf, but they seemed positive that he would be interested in having that conversation and would be interested in talking about that and seeing how that would go. So I'm hopeful that we can, have that conversation and that we can, we'll have to at least start there and see what he has to say.
Where are you at maybe offering an incentive? Like, we talked about maybe offering some money yearly.
Right, and so that I was under the assumption that's what the point of the being on the agenda was. I think again, since I haven't talked to him personally, I don't know what, like, if he would have a minimum. I just don't know. I can't speak for him at all. But I think if we could offer him, even if we had like a ceiling to say, we can go up to 2,000 or something like that dollars per year. That at least if he says, well, what does it pay? I'm going to need something. Because obviously we don't. It is some of his time, and he does accept some responsibility,
Very big one.
liability. So I think it only seems fair to be able to offer him something. So
Ash, are we okay if we give him the authority to offer up to 2,000 a year?
We discussed this, didn't we?
Yeah, last month, and I think it's a great idea because that's a giant liability to be over a rescue program. A lot of it falls on your shoulders too, but
but ultimately it's
Ultimately,
his
it's-
medical license.
it's his license, so
Take a hit
yeah,
on
I don't
that.
think that's a bad idea.
We need a motion for both licenses.
You entertain
And we're okay with that in our budget and stuff?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Dolly, second by Kirkpatrick. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kavah,
Yep.
Renslow.
Yes,
Thank you, Sean.
And then, as far as, I just wanted to point out, so July, as far as call volume is concerned, we ran 56 calls and 28 transports, which is almost up a third and 10%. But kind of the big thing that I've been noticing is we've always been consistently above. So right now we're at almost 80% or we're just over 80% of our average call volume for the year at the end of 7 months. So I think this stands to be our busiest year that I have a record of us ever having. And I think that will be the trend for at least the next few years, is to keep going up and up. So my guys are busy, they're staying busy, obviously not every day, but so they're doing all the work.
I do have a question. Out of curiosity, I see in another department's report, where do you sit for drivers? I've noticed a little uptick in paging out fire for drivers. So
That has
are we having problems keeping people here? Are we having just the drivers not? I don't know.
The summer months are especially difficult, getting people in town. You know what I mean? I've got a very stable paramedic roster roster, so I always have a paramedic on, and sometimes two for that matter. As far as the drivers are concerned, I've added a couple to the list, which is good. It's just a matter of finding, some of the, for the weekends and stuff like that over
We
the
still
summer.
pay them the $40 per call and $40 per shift.
So I think once, we run into that problem a lot, and so in the summers, it's often not as big of a problem because call volume is kind of tame. We go in big streets where you have like 3 or 4 calls in 1 or 2 days. But since this year we've been having more and more calls, it comes up more and more when you're hit on that. And this has to include, we can't have this many calls without going on second outs and stuff.
And I was gonna say, you guys have done a nice job on being able to run 2 ambulances at a time. I know you've had, in the last month, a couple calls that you've been able to split very quickly
Right, yeah.
and have a great response time.
Right.
So that's nice that we have the ability to make that to medic or just a medic and EMT and make that decision
Yeah,
to
get
split
two
them and
people to the hospital,
and
yeah.
get everybody taken care of.
Yep. And so, really just having a couple more people would be enough to fill that in. And so, really, just ebbs and flows. So come here in, September, October, we'll have no problem
Great.
with that. So.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Okay, 8, Stuart Chamberlain Commerce, request street closing. Anybody here?
I can be here if I need to be.
You want to talk?
You're up, Brenda.
So on September 8th, we are having RBTV. Does everybody know what that is?
It's exciting.
Yes. So we are planning to have this downtown, and we're hoping to close 2nd Street, east and west of Division. So Division would still be open, but then streets would be closed on both sides. WHO is supposed to be in town about 11. We're gonna bring them down White Pole Road just to kind of give that some publicity. But they plan to be here at 11, and then they do the Murph and Andy broadcast from 1 to 3, and then festivities will probably pick up after that. And they do all their broadcasts live. Last one's at 10 p.m. So we'll have the street dance, a lot of bands that day, a lot of entertainment, a lot of vendors. Hopefully, other towns are telling me anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 people, so we're hoping for a big crowd.
I got one question, Brenda. Originally, was the vendor supposed to be free if he's in town, but now they're being charged? Or is that,
Last I knew, they were still free.
no, they must not.
Oh,
Somebody mentioned $70 or something.
I guess I don't remember them
For
ever being free for vendors,
For RBTV.
Yeah, the vendors are gonna be charged.
all of them, not,
Even locals.
No, now, it depends. Are they operating in front of their business? Or are they a nonprofit?
I don't know how to find out.
Okay, so there hasn't been any issues. I've taken care
yeah,
of it.
so if somebody has a question, I guess
That's what I
you
said.
could refer them to Matt, he's been kind of the liaison for that
Okay.
piece of it.
Yes, so if it's a vendor, go ahead and have them
Okay.
contact me. Okay, so,
So there again, we'll have to have Jim informed and police on this.
Yeah, they've come to a couple meetings.
Yeah,
You
so,
probably know.
EMA, the Bob Kemp has been, Bob Kemp has regular meetings with rescue, fire, and police, like separate meetings from the RBTV meetings. So they have a disaster plan
Yeah.
put in place and they're ready to go. And I think it's all been a really good group of people and came together really well. I'm excited. And there's t-shirts that are being sold. Yeah.
Motion to-
Yes.
Street.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, moved by Renslaw, second by Morgan. How do you vote? Patrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan? Yes. Kavah?
Yep.
Renslaw?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
9, resolution number 2228C, road use report.
That's annual report that I submit to the state every year. If you have any question, be glad to answer. No,
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, moved by Renslaw,
Second.
second by Dolly. How do you vote? Patrick?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Kava,
Yep.
Renzo.
Yes.
10, set the date for public hearing rezoning Galliano's property, which would be September 12th. Motion on this. Moved by Dolly, second by Morgan. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kava,
Yep.
Renslow.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of items on the left. Economic. Matt's been out for a while. A first.
A would be the hotel Stuart,
Yes.
start with, and that's, by the way, Matt House signed his development agreement, so we're in good shape. And then we're moving on with agenda item A.
Yes, so we got the grant agreement between the Iowa Economic Development Authority and the city of Stuart.
That's a formality to allow him to apply for the grant. So we need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Renslow, second by Morgan. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kava.
Yep.
Renslow.
Yes.
And then we'll go to item E, still related to the hotel.
Yes, this one is a development agreement between Matt House of the Hotel Stuart and the city of Stuart.
Yes. Same related issue, and we need a motion for it.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Renslow.
So is this B or C?
Morgan.
B,
Oh,
William B.
D. So.
You get a second?
Moved and seconded. So how do you vote?
Oh,
Morgan.
what?
Use the development agreement, B is the grant agreement.
Right.
Yes. William B.
So,
That moved by Renzo, seconded by Morgan.
so how do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan, Kava,
Yep.
Renslow.
Yes.
Okay, C is a
I'll see.
good one because that's the extension for Matt House on his development agreement.
So you want me to say something on this? He called me
Mhm.
and, he said that he wasn't gonna come, but he said he signed his development agreement, which is what one of our concerns was.
Mhm.
But he said that the extension, he wanted just to reach out and let us know that the extension is because now we have all these new requirements, where he thought he was gonna be able to use Jeff Marks as a general contractor, but he can't now because of the new having to bid certain stuff out. But he did say that the Board of Adjustment did approve his first floor handicap accessible apartment,
Okay,
right?
most of that's correct. Now, Jeff Morris can still be used, there's still researching, trying to get attorney response on that. So that's not
But
completely
don't you have
ruled
to
out.
bid it out?
It does have to be bid out,
Oh,
but they can be still considered as a consultant and still possibly qualify.
But all that bidding's done through him.
Yes. So I can't say that March is ruled out. He's.
Well,
he
right,
could still be a
but I mean,
player.
he can't just choose, what I was saying is he can't just say, I want Jeff Marks to do it.
Correct.
He has to go through a new bidding procedure now, which is gonna take time.
So, with the catalyst agreement dates, the upper level housing grant dates, I would advise going with his request of an extension on the original TIF agreement.
I would make that motion.
Okay, moved by Renzo.
I'll second.
Second by Dolly. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Kava,
Yep.
Renslow.
Yes.
Okay. D, Matt, you gonna talk about this first, and I'll let Andy talk, and then I wanna say a few words.
Okay. Okay. February 14th, 2022, City Council meeting, Andy Fort, owner of Central Iowa Collision, updated the council on the status of his business and his relocation plans. Andy informed the council that he was looking at a property and would like a 90-day extension to finalize a lot sale. I can go into further detail here, but the short of it is that the city council agreed to give him a 6-month extension at that time. Council requested that Andy Forth and I have bi-weekly meetings, which for the most part, most of that has been done. Approximately 3 months after the February meeting, the negotiations with the seller of 203 Southwest 2nd Street had ceased, and then Andy had pursued renegotiating the agreement that he had with the buyer of the land that he had, and was starting again the process of constructing his own building. Also at that time, Andy started, he submitted an application for TIF, and the city had begun processing an amendment for the urban renewal plan. At that time, Andy had asked for $100,000 in TIF to construct a new building. So in the last couple months, though, the bi-weekly meetings have dwindled.
Do we have anything submitted to Jason yet as far as building permits?
Been in conversations with Jason. Andy needs to get a site plan from an engineering firm.
Because it's a commercial property?
Yes. And he's had some difficulty there. So I'll give him an opportunity to explain that. So, I mean, I can go on for another 10 minutes here. You guys need it.
I think I'm good.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Matt.
So I'll go ahead and give Andy an opportunity to speak on that subject. And then-
Finish up with you.
Yeah, and I'll come back up for item E.
Andy Forst on behalf of my business. Just went through the whole rundown there, but yeah, 6 months ago I was here. I had a direction in order to kind of mitigate the situation, be a lot faster to buy a building than build one at that point. It didn't work out. Got to the point where we were gonna have the appraiser come out. He finally put a number on the building, and it was way more than what I could build that building for. And I mean, I turned down buying Ed and Joe Dwyer's building for the same amount of money. You know, and it's not worth it. So at that point, I put a full year into finding contractors, filling out my TIF application, moving forward. I still had my lot. I had my purchase agreement all done up with Ryan Geisinger for him to buy it. All I needed to do was make that sale, and then I could get my money back out of my lots that I owned. But that obviously fell through. So I retained my lots and moved forward with that. Made a little progress over there. Right now, I'm smack dab in the middle of my layered engineered site plans in order to achieve this building permit. So I'm already tens of thousands of dollars into this project. A few $1,000s into paying engineers for my building permit. Try not to make it go over the top. You know, I could go out and hire a general contractor, pay him 10+% of what my project cost is, but you know, it's a small town. I'm a small business owner, and I'm trying to do this myself. And it is what it is at this point. I've got partway there. We're almost got everything that Jason needs for a building permit. I've talked to him. He's explained to me exactly what I need, and had a little trouble getting engineers on a few of the things, but I'm almost there. So, I mean, in my perspective, with everything that's gone on, I know you guys give me 6 months, and that was the deal of that building. But like I said back then, this is my life. This is how I make ends meet. It's a small business in a small town in a low-income community, and I'm doing what I can. Small businesses live paycheck to paycheck, just like people working a 9 to 5. So trying to make it just like everybody else. So I guess